I want you to think of the most charismatic person that you know and ask yourself, did they watch a bunch of social skills videos? Can you imagine that person sitting down with their computer or phone and watching 7 tips to be more confident, 3 techniques for body language, 3 posture tips and tricks, like all these specific videos talking about little like details on how to get better at social skills? Does the most charismatic person you know watch those videos? No. When you see them out and about interacting with people, they just have this effortless flow. It seems so natural. It almost seems like they were born with it. But here's the truth. While these people may not have watched 7 tips to be more charismatic, maybe they haven't watched all these YouTube videos, but they didn't start off like that. A baby is just a baby. They can't speak, they can't do anything. They have 0 social skills. They're completely unskilled. But the most charismatic person you know, as they grew older, they gained more social experience than you did. And now they have more charisma. And it seems so natural and effortless because they simply have more experience. Somewhere along the way, you fell behind. Somewhere along the way, you had a bad negative experience that made it scary for you to speak to people. And that put you behind everyone else. And you slowly watched as other people became more and more confident. They had more life experiences. And you just saw that gap widening and widening. And you just thought to yourself, man, they have something that I don't. But the truth is, they just have experience, and you can get that experience as well. If you don't know me already, my name is Dale the Legend, and I help young men build their dream social lives. I've made hundreds of friends in college, throw large weekly events, and run a club with over 40 members. In today's video, I want to discuss the strategy of social calibration. This is the way that you're going to improve your social skills. I want you to think of a baby learning how to walk, right? It can't walk at the beginning. When it tries to stand up, it's going to fall down. It's going to hurt itself. It's going to bust up its knees, right? But as it's standing back up, as it's trying again, it's getting feedback. Its brain is calculating, it's calibrating how exactly it should be moving its legs, how exactly it should be using its muscles in conjunction with one another. It's all these simultaneous processes are happening inside the baby's brain. The baby isn't consciously like calculating, right? It's just trying its best to move forward, right? And it's gonna fail, and it's gonna fail over and over again. But of course, the brain making all its calculations is eventually going to calibrate the baby enough so that it knows how to walk. And now the baby can effortlessly look to the other side of the room and then just walk over there. It doesn't take any thought at all. It's effortless, right? Almost as if it just looks supernatural. Like the baby's not trying at all. That is the same approach that we're gonna take to our social skills. We have to show up. We have to put ourselves out there in a position where we can meet new people. And when we're in that position, we have to go and try. We gotta say hello. We gotta start a conversation. Maybe it's gonna feel painful. Maybe it's gonna be awkward. But that's exactly what it takes to get better. That's exactly what it takes. That pain, those awkward moments, that's what's gonna bring you to that natural, effortless level of charisma that you're trying to reach. I remember my first semester of college, I was invited to a birthday party, like a girl's birthday party. And I showed up and it was all girls, bro. Literally every single person. And I was feeling so awkward, so out of place, because in my mind, I was terrible at speaking to girls. So I was just so awkward. I sat in the corner and I remember a girl came up to me and started speaking to me. And it was a girl I recognized from my class, right? And she started asking me a bunch of questions, trying to get to know me. And I started to realize, like, wait, this girl is kind of into me right now, right? And I just got so awkward, bro. I was so nervous. I could barely give any responses. Like, she was asking questions and I was giving like one-word responses, bro. I was being dry. I was being the dry one, right? And it was just kind of awkward, and I really just wanted to get out of that situation at all costs. So I remember, like, I looked around and I saw a party hat on the wall, like a birthday hat, right? So I remember, I grabbed it and I just like physically like put it on her head. Like it was like the most random thing ever. Like that, I didn't say anything. I just grabbed it, put it on her head. And that was like the most confident thing that I could imagine myself doing. And then I just ran away. And it was funny because a few days later, someone sent the pictures to me from the birthday party. And that girl was the only person wearing the birthday hat. But the lesson that I want to tell from this story is that super awkward experience, even though that was super painful, and for the next like few months, I think for the rest of the semester, I would always think of that moment and I would cringe. Like, you know, that painful feeling, like, you know what I mean? Just randomly, you're in class or something, or maybe you're like about to go to bed and you just get this crippling, awkward memory. I would just have that, right? But it was because of that experience that I was able to become more confident. It's because of that experience that if I'm at a party and there's a girl talking to me, I can just confidently talk to her. Because I had the experience. Because I fell. Because I hit the ground. Because I busted my knees up. That is what allowed me to get that social calibration. So on this channel, I want you to embrace this mindset of action taking. I feel like so many social skills videos just kind of, they're not really made for you to actually learn anything. And if they are giving information, it's more just to make you feel like you're learning. But the truth is, you have to go out there and take action. If you go and watch a social skills videos, they can give you 7 tips. But how many of those tips have you actually applied? How many of those tips did you go out there and you literally said, okay, I'm going to smile at this person? Most likely, none of them. So watching that whole video in the first place was pretty much useless. It was a waste of your time. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to waste my time anymore. I want to become, and I am becoming, the most social version of myself. And I want you to join me on this journey. We're action takers. We're not YouTube watchers. We're not dopamine enjoyers. We're not content consumers. We have this dream social life that we want to build. And we're building it each day. If you want a quick action step, the next time you go to class, the next time you go out, just do a little bit more than you did before. Maybe when you go out, you don't speak to anyone. So when you go out, try making eye contact with people. Genuinely, the action steps can be very, very small. It doesn't matter how small they are. It just matters that you're progressing. I remember back in high school when I was trying to become more confident, I would, in the hallways on the way to class, I would just practice looking people in the eyes. And I remember the first time I did it, someone looked back at me. Someone who didn't even know me, probably wasn't thinking anything of it. But as soon as that connection was made, my entire body violently jerked away. It was just, the idea of just making eye contact with a stranger was so painful. And yet, I just continued doing it. I continued pushing myself little by little. My brain socially calibrated to realize, oh, making eye contact with people isn't a bad thing. And I can do that. So I started doing it. I just started making eye contact with people as I walked by. Take that small action step. You can just sit there for like 10 seconds and just ask your brain, what small step could I take? And do it. If you want to learn more, I have a full social skills course, which you can check out with the first link in the description. Go watch this video, and I'll see you next time. Yeah!